Today, on Be Something Wonderful, the time factor, how instant manifestations really work. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Here we are in Bonaire in the Dutch Caribbean with another powerful video. I want to talk about the question that came up yesterday. It's come up on the channel. What about time, Tom? How come then, if I'm choosing my reality, if I'm deciding this is who I am, I choose my identity, I choose my reality, I decide that this is who I am, how come I don't see it instantly? Well, I want to talk about this idea today and more. Remember, we need to understand what time is, right? Everything is simultaneous. It's the simultaneity of all that you are. You are all realities, all versions of yourself, all identities. You are everything, everywhere, all at once, all happening now. So time is an idea, it's an experience of what some part or portion or vantage point or viewpoint or perspective of all that you are. The only way to know yourself as that allness, as that absoluteness, is to be aware or focus in on some part of all that you are, to know yourself relative to all that you are. And we create this experience in time, in space. We are a vertical being creating a horizontal experience of all that we are. So we can know ourselves experientially as that one source. That's what the physical experience is. This is powerful. We talked about this, right? In the idea of what desire is. It's that divine urge of life to know itself as life. As consciousness to be conscious of something. Awareness to be aware of something. And what is that something? If consciousness and awareness is all there is, if there's nothing outside of awareness or consciousness, then it must only be aware of itself, some perspective, some viewpoint. So it's you knowing yourself as all that is from an infinite vantage point, viewpoint, or perspective. And you create this experience that we call time. So time is change in that one changeless, simultaneous reality of all that is, or in other words, of all that you are. Time is experience. It's the physical experience of knowing yourself as that one changeless, timeless everything, everywhere, all at once source. It's not about time in terms of manifestations because everything is manifested, everything's created, everything is in potential within you. You already are all those things. So it's about awareness. It's about the intensity of your awareness, not time, not effort. We're not talking about effort or trying or striving. We're saying it's the intensity of who and what you're focused on, who and what you're conscious of being creates this experience of time, right? Time is the space between events, the space between all that isness. To know yourself relative to something else, it's relative to who you are. There's nothing else outside of you as all that is. So let's see if we can unpack this like we never have before. Remember who you are. You are that one changeless, timeless, infinite reality. That one source, first and only cause, all that is. Everything, everywhere, all at once. The absolute, without any limit whatsoever. That all-knowing, all-powerful, self-aware intelligence. One consciousness, one awareness, one reality, one God, one energy, one source, being conscious and aware of itself experientially from a certain perspective or viewpoint or vantage point. That's powerful. Creating change or space between this simultaneous reality, this one event, this one moment in time, this one energy, this one source, this one awareness, knowing itself relative to itself. And we call that experience of time in space. We give something, we create that, we give something time in space. In other words, we experience ourselves as that all that isness. This is powerful. So to be conscious, consciousness, To be awareness means to be conscious or aware of something. And if consciousness and awareness is the only reality, what is that something? It's you. It's awareness itself. It's consciousness itself. Otherwise, it wouldn't be consciousness or awareness. It has to be aware or conscious of something. In other words, it wouldn't exist. And non-existence doesn't exist. So do you see this? The great I am, as we've talked about, the levels of creation, when we talked about, there's a playlist on the levels of creation. The highest level is the isness of reality. What is called the great I am by spiritual greats. It's life or existence itself. Existence just is. There's no before or after. There was no time when existence was not, because non-existence doesn't exist by definition. So God, your ultimate reality, your source, that first cause, that changeless one. Then you have the first, think of it, the manifestation of that isness. It's that isness knowing itself as that isness. Knowing itself as that one supreme source. That's the I am awareness. That's the beingness. That's what Scripture calls the Son of God. That's your higher self, your inner being, your true real you, the absolute aware and conscious of itself, of the simultaneity of all that it is. It's that changeless you, that changeless, limitless you, that one experience of reality, who you really are. And then we have to know ourselves as this awareness, as this beingness. It's isness. And the first manifestation is the beingness, the idea to be, to know itself. In Him we live and move and have our being. That's what Scripture was referring to. In this I am awareness, in this beingness, in this all potential, all power, all possibilities of reality, we can now know ourselves experientially. That is the fifth level, or you got 7, 6, and 5. These three top levels of creation. You have the Son of Man, the I am, the infinite I am identities. You can identify yourself infinitely, and you are. In every moment, in every minute, in every second, in every billions of frames a second, you're shifting realities into a different identity. Every moment, you're a different new identity. That's this level. You, this vertical, changeless, limitless, timeless being that you are, this I am awareness, this vertical being that you are. You're creating change in limits and experience in time and space of relativity. You're limiting yourself, but deliberately and consciously knowing yourself. But you're all of these identities no matter what. You're never limited, but you create the experience of limits, of change, of experience within time and space. That's powerful. So you have the great I am. You have existence itself, the great isness of reality. What Scripture referred to when Moses asked God, who shall I sent me? I am that I am. I am who I am. I'm that great existence that always exists. Before Abraham, I am. There was never a time when existence was not. Non-existence is not possible by definition. Then you have, that's the level 7, the highest level of existence. And then you have level 6, I am awareness, the beingness, your higher self, from which all, the higher source of all that you are. This is source, period. This is first cause. This is existence itself. This is the first manifestation for this existence, or this awareness, or this isness, or this pure awareness or knowing, to know itself as that awareness. That one experience, that one changeless, timeless, spaceless reality, to be aware of itself as that supreme being, creates this level 5, your identity. Identifying with a certain perspective or viewpoint or vantage point of all that you are. Infinite experiences, there are infinite identities, infinite versions of you, or forms or appearances of change that creates an experience of time, space, and change. The infinite horizontal linear physical experiences of all that is. There are infinite scripts or lifelines or alternative parallel realities, or horizontal linear experiences that we create from knowing us to know ourselves as that one vertical being. That's why they call it an illusion. You're a vertical being. You're that allness, isness. You're the here and now of all that is. but we create this experience, this horizontal or physical experience. And it's never what it seems because it's changing in every moment. So time is the space between events, experiences. It's change in that one changeless reality, that one changeless being or reality that you are. That's what the horizontal physical linear experience is. And it's only called an illusion because an illusion means it's not what it seems. In other words, it's always changing. In other words, it's not really horizontal or linear. That's an experience. It's not in time, in space. That's an experience. That's the vertical, experiencing itself and knowing itself as that one reality and unfolding in the horizontal linear experience. That's powerful. So it's not about time, because all of that, you're always that vertical. All of those experiences are always taking place. It's a decision, it's a choice. It's what you give meaning to it. You give meaning to the events in time and space. You give the meaning of time to everything. Right? Time is relative to you. Hear this. It's relative to you. It's what it means to you. Right? And as you keep saying nothing has happened, or things are slow, or it doesn't have instant, then you create that reality. The absolute existence before Abraham, I am who I am. There it is, again, just to show you another way of looking at this. This is the great I am. This is existence itself. There's never a time when it didn't exist or there's not existence. You can imagine many things, right? You can even imagine your physical death transition, but you can't imagine that you don't exist. Try it. You can't. Imagine that. You could imagine maybe that you have a death experience or a transition, a physical experience, physical death transition, right? What we call physical death. But you can't imagine that you don't exist. You exist and will always exist. As what? As that I am awareness, as that perfect expression of God, that Son of God. All higher selves, your higher self, one with all other higher selves. That's what everybody is you pushed out really means. There is no other. There's just that one higher self that represents infinite higher selves. And then we create this physical experience, this I am identity. The vertical experience of you is that I am identity. It's still without limits. It's still beyond time and space. It's still here and now. Do you see it? We have this dotted frame. You create a frame, an identity of reality, of who you are. But that's still beyond limits. It's still here and now. It's still vertical. And you create this horizontal experience that's always changing, past, present, and future, happening right now. But you create that experience, but it's always instant. It's always here and now, and you're experiencing it here and now. Do you see the instantaneity here? This is what that means. Then, I've never shown it like this before. I don't think I've ever have shown this in this way. Manifested experience in time and space. You have this physical manifested experience. Do you see it? So you're here in what seems like a solid, continuous, unchangeable physical experience, asking, wondering why it isn't instant. When actually it is, it's always changing. Here it is. It's instantly changing in every moment. And do you see this? It's just because that reality, that physical reality you're focused on is always changing within you. And so it's really about you deciding who you are, persisting in that knowing, and knowing that that's instant as you identify that as that. And then, of course, you have the manifested physical experience in time and space. Time is relative to you. You're an instant being, instantly creating all of these experiences. It's always instant. You're shifting in every moment, billions of frames per second. Right? But where are you dwelling? Do you see this? This is a powerful picture of this today, showing you that even the horizontal linear experience, it's still the vertical unfolding, and it's still beyond time and space, but it's manifested instantly. But you're asking down here in the experiences itself. And remember, it's always changing in every moment into what you're focused on. If you're saying it's not instant, then it's not instant. How do you get it instant? Then it's not instant. Why isn't it instant? Then it's not instant. But it's always changing. It's always instant. It's always you. That's powerful. The real vertical you, the beingness, as I am awareness, is shifting and manifesting identities and realities in every moment. You see, you're shifting, that real you is shifting identities in every moment. The vertical experiencing unfolds as a horizontal, linear, relative manifested experiences of time, space, and change here and now, and then and that, here and there, and then and now. Do you see it? The real vertical you is always shifting and manifesting identities and realities in every moment. It's that one changeless reality knowing itself experientially. The vertical experiencing of that unfolds as a horizontal, linear, relative manifested experiences of time, of space, of change, of here and there, and then and now. The meaning you give this vertical, nonlinear experiencing creates your unique horizontal, linear experience of that here and now, of that one reality. It's the meaning you give it. Time doesn't exist outside of you. There is no time. It's an idea within you. And you give it. That's why for some people they say, well, time's flying. Others say, time is dragging. What's taking so long? Do you see how relative that is? You create the entire experience. You decide what you're experiencing is, what you give it meaning. If you believe it's taking time, if it's time's dragging, or you believe time's flying, it's all you. That's why when they say you're in the zone, right, and time seems to fly, or it seems to be timeless, like no time's going by. That's what it means. You're in the vertical, right? You're in that space where it's timeless, right? That's powerful. The time factor, how instant manifestations really work. That's how. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the ambassadors at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, and our membership channel. Stay tuned. We have another live stream to be announced shortly on the membership channel. If you're a member, tune in. If you're not a member, check out the link below. Creators, with great love, with great light, and infinite gratitude, I'm Tom Kearin with Be Something Wonderful in the beautiful island of Bonaire. Until next time, see you soon.